Hey data people, let's talk about SUMIFs. Now if you're looking to sum a range based on some conditions, SUMIFs is the way you want to go. Of course you could always use a subtotal or sum function, but when it comes time to filtering down that data and you want the accurate result, it's just not going to cut it. SUMIF and SUMIFs allows you to sum a range based on a condition or multiple conditions. It's a handy feature that I use all the time and one you should too. So let's take a look. So here's the file we're going to work with. I have a list of players tallying all their scores for each game. Now, if I was working for the league, I might want to look up a certain player and see how many goals he scored throughout the season. And this is where SUMIF and SUMIFS will come in handy. So we have several weeks of games, 4 different teams, and 3 players per team. And we have this drop down here to select a certain player. So first let me show you the SUMIF formula. So if I go here under total goals and I start typing my formula, SUMIF, and our range is not the range we're going to tally, which would be our goals. Our range is actually the player column because we want to specify which player we want to look at. So if I go ahead and select all of them, comma, and you see here we have our criteria. Which player do we want to look at? That would be cell F2. Hit another comma. Now we get to our sum range, and that is our goals. Close out that parentheses, hit enter, and we see Joey has a total of 7. We can go through. Gabe has 6, Abigail has 9, but we do have one problem with this. We have players that share the same name on different teams. As you can see, we have Abigail, who plays for the Diamondbacks, and down here we have Abigail, who plays for the Cobras. So in this scenario, we can assume that they're 2 different players altogether. Same thing with Joey. We have Joey for the Vipers and Joey for the Cobras. So we're not getting a true depiction of how many goals were scored for each player. And that's where SUMIFs come into play. SUMIFs will allow us to use a second or more criteria to determine what we're going to add up. So we have this team field here, and I've created a pendant dropdown, so depending on the player, we could choose which team they're on. And as we saw, there's an Abigail on the Diamondbacks and Abigail on Cobras. We saw Joey had the same problem. Vipers and Cobras. And let's choose Colin here. Colin is just on the Cobras. So we can adjust our formula here. We'll go ahead and use SUMIFs. And SUMIFs will begin a little bit differently. So the first argument in our SUMIFs is our sum range. So we'll choose the goals, hit our comma, and the next argument is our criteria range. So what do we want to look at? We want to look at the players again. So we'll choose our whole list of players, comma, our criteria is F2, hit a comma again, and now we're in criteria range 2. So now we want to analyze, is that player on a specific team? So we'll choose our teams, and the actual criteria to look in will be G2, depending on our dropdown. I'll close that out. We've got 0 because we haven't selected anything. Colin's on the Cobras. He has a total of 2 goals for the season. Let's go back to Abigail. Obviously, she's on the Cobras. She's got 5. Let's check the other Abigail. On Diamondbacks has 4. Go to Joey. Now, he's not on the Diamondbacks, so we'll change our filter. So Joey on the Vipers has 4 goals. And Joey on the Cobras has 3. Easy as that. And if we wanted to filter further down, specifically on our dates of the games, we could do that by adding a third criteria range. But for now, it looks pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there's plenty more where that came from. If there's any other functions you'd like to take a look at, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to cover them. Otherwise, take a look at this next video and expand on your growing skill set. Thanks for watching.